There was much excitement and also anger about the speech from the online right. Some considered it a liberty and that he was being a flip-flopping fraud as usual. I fall more into that camp. Others believed it was a win for them, showing that the Overton window was shifting. Others felt vindicated in their assertion that based Starmer was going to be Blair 2.0, would be an improvement on the Tories, and would consign the traitorous Conservative Party to the dustbin of history. For this reason, such figures even voted for the creep, and until now they have looked rather daft for having done so. Should the dissident right really be excited about the language? Let's look at it. The key phrases are "this happened by design," "experiment in open borders," used twice, and "a policy with no support." The latter ties into the "we were never asked" concept, first popularised by Enoch Powell. When the dissident right, or indeed some on the dissident left, use these phrases, they know exactly what they mean. They likely refer to the notion of the Great Replacement, a supposed agenda to subvert the ethnically indigenous, white populations of the West through the import of Africans and Asians. The argument is that these new populations will assert their own cultures, leading to multiculturalism and a weakening of the host culture's hegemony. There will also be social mixing and inter-ethnic relationships and procreation. This is intended, so the narrative goes, to prevent nationalism and for progressives to atone for the sins of the past, namely colonialism and slavery. If people don't go this far, they still believe the migration is a result of irresponsible hyper-liberalism, whereby corporations, allied to the big political parties, can procure cheap labour from around the world. That is still a deliberate design, but not one motivated by ethnic replacement. One could, of course, believe that both things are true, that different actors have different agendas, and the cumulative effect is still the destruction of our nation. Yes, Starmer uses these phrases, but not in a way that commits himself to any right-wing position or policy. These are what are often called dog whistles, I believe. He is touching on concepts in order to appeal to a certain audience while being able to deny it later. Of course, Starmer and Labour have no credibility on this issue. They started mass immigration approaching hundreds of thousands in 1997. That was the real open borders experiment. Labour is simply projecting, accusing their opponents of doing what they do themselves. Starmer obviously does not believe these things, or at least he does not oppose these things. Otherwise he would not be the Labour Prime Minister, having dedicated his life to upholding them. He will offer no material measures to stop them. Anybody who believes he has seen the light and will pull the plug on the whole rotten business needs their head examining.